Well, something exciting today, Human Rights Day, that's what we're celebrating, and we're highlighting it on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Now, even though we're celebrating Human Rights Day, we're also celebrating World Water Day. And since water is a basic right and we need to preserve it and respect it, we're also bringing light to that situation. The truth is, I'm told that in South Africa, we won't have enough water left in a few years, as soon as 2025, and in Gauteng, as soon as 2015. So with us in studio is our conservationist, John Lucas, to help us to get to the bottom of this problem. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me again.
You've been to Antarctica and all kinds of stuff. You're the traveller, but I want to talk water today. There's an issue with our water. Is it because there's an issue with our water, or is it because it's polluted?
I think it's... We won't run out of water as such. We will lose quality of water before we actually run out of our water physically.
Right.
So it's more of a pollution factor and a resource management factor that affects our water resources in South Africa.
They say as soon as 11 years. Is that a reality? I mean, you talk about usable water, which means most of it is polluted.
Well, if you look at rainfall patterns in South Africa, things are changing. There's more rainfall, less rainfall in certain areas. We can see in rivers, flow patterns are changing. So again, it goes back to the fact that we won't necessarily lose water as such that our rivers would all dry up. But it's more the fact that we're losing water that we can use because of pollutants that we're adding, in the sense that it's boxes and books like you're seeing on the screen behind us, or actually physical chemical pollutants which we're adding to the water, things that we actually can't see but need to analyze through lab processes and get indications as to what's happening.
You recently embarked on a campaign which I'm excited about because, you know, it's our responsibility to keep our water clean. You went out there, Rivers on a Day, Water in Action last week. Tell me about that.
It was an amazing weekend. We had schools from the Cape Town area come through to us, a little nature reserve in the corner of the Groot-Windhoek mountain range between the Ratel and the Olifants River. The day before, we went out to the Noordhoeks River. We were based there basically for 4 days. It was a one-day action campaign which we were invited to.
Yeah, I want to do that.
That was a bucky load full of rubbish which we collected out of one of the tributaries of the Olifants River, which is our main focus river for the year. And it was great just to be able to take things out of the river and just to educate the youth about what is actually going on in their waterways and just getting everybody involved. And it was a great weekend. We got great feedback from everybody, and yes, they learned things they didn't know.
Looking at John, he is the biggest guy I've ever seen, and he's excited about water and conserving our country and making things better. Give us some tips. How do we save water?
They go from complicated to absolute simple. Sure. And I think the simplest one would be to pick up rubbish. Whether it's at schools, on the school fields, picking up rubbish there, or it's just basically getting that action, that habit of picking up things around the place. Going through to planting indigenous vegetation in the area that you live in, to putting water tanks up to collect rainwater, to using grey water. So there are a variety of things that people can do, and there are numerous websites that you can go to look for tips.
Or just closing taps, right?
Or just closing taps, something like that. Making sure that your actual fittings and your washers are intact in your taps, so the dripping effect doesn't happen, which we see far too often.
Even I can change a cartridge on a tap, so it's really easy to do. John, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for helping us conserving our water. And you heard it, Human Rights Day today, and we're also making sure that we create some light on how to save water on this Human Rights Day. Well, we use water every day, so you just heard it from John, some simple tips on how to cherish it.